Hello everybody and welcome back to Talos Principle. We just got done with all of A. We won't need to return here for a while. And we're actually going to go explore around this area because there's some stuff we can do here. Designers granted me domain over the lands I have traveled, and with the sigils of power I make this whole world my domain. I think this is next. Hey, he promised the world as well. What a joker. I don't think that time obeys too many rules here, or so many rules we can't imagine. Clearly, I'm writing this message after you've wrote all yours, but maybe we're all here at the same time as well? That message just materialized on the wall in front of me! And there's some over here. I'm afraid of that tower. There's something terrible inside it. Never think about it. I don't even look at it. Just focus on doing the work. This must be the tower we were warned about. Seems the upper levels are locked tight. Elohim is taking no chances that we stray from his path. On returning from the tower, I feel great tiredness and enormous energy. What I know now disturbs me, but I hope that by living with this knowledge I might provide a shoulder for you, the giants of tomorrow. The view from the top must be incredible. And we're not actually going to go in here yet. We're going to explore still, because there's actually a lot of stuff around here. I wish I could reach those islands in the distance, but it seems to be impossible. Yeah, there's actually quite a bit we can do here. And there's like this tiny little research base over here as well. And there's a star in here, but there's no way to seemingly attain the star at the moment. So we're gonna wait a bit. Give me a second. I need to say something. Okay, I'm just gonna try something real quickly. I was right. But yeah. There it is. Hold on. Questioning Doubt config. Keynote speech by Inserby. Questioning Doubt. Hold on, give me a second though, because I need to figure out what I'm going to have. For dinner. Trying to think. They say doubt everything, but I disagree. Doubt is useful in small amounts, but too much of it leads to apathy and confusion. No, don't doubt everything. Question everything. That's the real trick. Doubt is just a lack of certainty. If you doubt everything, you'll doubt evolution, science, faith, morality, even reality itself. And you'll end up with nothing, because doubt doesn't give you anything back. But questions have answers, you see. If you question everything, you'll find that a lot of what we believe is untrue. But you might also discover that some things are true. You might discover what your own beliefs are, and then you'll question them again and again, eliminating flaws, discovering lies, until you get as close to the truth as you can. Questioning is a lifelong process. That's precisely what makes it so unlike doubt. Questioning engages with reality, interrogating all it sees. Questioning leads to a constant assault on the intellectual status quo, where doubt is far more likely to lead to a resigned acceptance. After all, when the possibility of truth is doubtful, excuse the pun, why not simply play along with the most convenient lie? Questioning is progress, but doubt is stagnation. Partition.email. From Rob McLean to Ian mailing list, archive project subject EL partition. Hi folks, this is just to let you know that for reasons of convenience and security, we've partitioned EL into two separate systems. The Talos team will be working on ELO, while the archive system will be working on EL1. You might also notice an EL2 partition, but don't worry about that. It's just the operating system doing its thing. Cheers, Rob. Him, email. From Bob Rakowski to Alexander Drennan, subject him. Hey Alex, I agree that we need something that'll keep all the modules working together, evaluate, and final test. And I think I have the perfect solution. It's called the Holistic Integration Manager, a fancy name for something a lot like a Dungeon Master in pen and paper RPGs. We created it to help run some MMOs back in the day. We needed something that would be able to unite procedurally generated and user-submitted content into a coherent whole so the game wouldn't become too chaotic and inconsistent. It's a genuine AI, somewhat limited in its abilities to grow, but capable of parsing and understanding text, images, audio, even video. It takes all the information it can find, interprets it, and then builds and maintains a world based on that. It's not perfect, but we don't have a lot of time, and it would be easy to adapt the code for our purposes. So this is him. If we go back and look at the if we go back and look at the partition, Talos team will be working on ELO. If you combine ELO and him, you get Elohim. So the Talos team combined with the him team created Elohim. That's the origin of Elohim. He is partition 0, him. Fun. We've also got more stuff we can read. A lot of stuff to read. Oxyrhynchus. Oxyrhynchus? I don't know. The great irony of that OP is that such a vital source of information about the ancient world exists only because of a garbage dump. While the Library of Alexandria burned at the hands of fanatics and conquerors, depriving us of unimaginable insights into history, philosophy and art papers carelessly thrown away by the citizens of that survive to the modern day. And though it is true that a great deal of what we know today is because of the conscious efforts of individual and organizations, such as the spectacular translation and preservation work done during the Islamic Golden Age, so much more is simply the result of coincidence and luck. We've lost texts that the ancients considered to be absolutely essential, while utterly trivial. Even plagiarized work has survived unharmed. So if we want our descendants to remember more than glittering emo vampires and auto-tuned teen pop stars, we have to invest in blank. Make sure that blank. Book of Osiris.wiki. The Book of the Scribe of Osiris, sometimes also referred to as the Book of the Journey to Aru, is an ancient Egyptian text discovered in the excavation of that word. It has caused a certain degree of controversy among Egyptologists, as some argue that it is a classic funerary text such as the Book of Coming Forth by Day, while others believe it to be a poetic work not intended to be understood literally. The book tells the story of a dying man who asks a scribe about the afterlife. The scribe, a servant of Osiris, describes how the man's Ka, life force, will become separated from his Ba, personality, and how he will have to reunite the two and become an Ak, living intellect, passing a series of trials in the Duat, underworld, in order to reach the paradise of Aru. Unlike similar texts, the Book of the Scribe of Osiris focuses lens on giving advice or blank. A recent study, Karnahan Hassan, suggests that the text may have been intended as philosophical commentary on the world of the living through the allegory of the Duat. It remains unclear whether this was the intent of the original pre-Alexandrian author or a result of the later translation into Greek. The earlier manuscript, which is considered to be more authentic, is too fragmentary to provide answers, though perhaps further excavation may provide light. I'm filling in some of the blanks because it can be pretty easy to figure out what they were going to say. There you go. And every once in a while you'll have things around here that look like you can do stuff, but you really can't, and there's no point because they don't lead anywhere. None of these doors actually do anything. I've seen the truth. Only Elohim can save us from my eternal oblivion. I put a my there by accident. Alright, so the previous area, A, was Roman slash
A new
Greek.
land stands before you, my child. And know that this is a land of death, but also great beauty. As you walk amongst these tombs, consider all those who came before you, and how they served the greater purpose of which you are also part.
Yeah, there's a lot of red and yellow here. Only 3 green, which is all we need to complete. But the Temple A was the temple for I can't jump on that. Okay, was temple for Greek slash Roman mythology. This temple is the temple for Egyptian mythology, and we cannot make the fan yet. So we're gonna head to this place and make sure that I can do everything here. We can. Let's head in.
I have promised you eternal life. But know that eternity may only be attained by those who serve a purpose greater than themselves. All else is decay. So it was written in the hidden words before the beginning of time.
I'm finally getting some sense out of the entity in the archive, though at some cost to my sanity. I am beginning to think this Elohim wields no more control over the world than we do. These sigil locks come naturally to me. Perhaps I have some Russian in my lineage. Took time to prepare myself for the obstacles in this world. It was time well spent. I don't care what people say. I'm just here. So, really quick. So there's a game, like a demo that they released called Sigils of Elohim or something like that. And if you beat levels in it, it's just like the sigil locks. That's all it was. You would get like codes that you could use in this game, and it would unlock message things that you can use. More than crazier, do the computer terminals have a personality? Have you tried crossing laser beams? You'll need needing a special device to solve this one. I don't care what people say. I have no idea what's going on. Do you? I'm not the first one to undertake these trials. That much is clear. If you're reading this, then neither will I have been the last. The certification program is a sham. What does a computer know about humanity? I have heard all the lady in the light had to say. The feel we have so lost much more than we have retained. Tools to open this place have been provided us. We only need to, yeah, I like this one. And we can also see my version is 99.3.0005. Tell me something. Do you always do as you're told? Am I obliged to answer that question? I only ask because I couldn't help but notice the stash of brightly colored knickknacks you're collecting. Don't you think it's thinking it might odd that big voice in the sky keeps telling you to find those doodads, yet forbidding you to use them to climb the great big tower in the middle of it all? I'll climb it when I'm good and ready. Okay, no need to get huffy. You'd be amazed how many just do as they're told without stopping to think for themselves. But maybe you're different. Then again, maybe you're exactly the same. Maybe everyone climbs the tower, and the only way to win is to stay down here with the mortals. Do you really think so? No. In fact, I'm all in favor of you poking up there, willing to see what you find. Must be something juicy if it's forbidden by His Highness. Then again, maybe not. Then again, maybe not. I'll be off then. Just wanted to drop in and run a little interference. Whatever you do, take care. You have bigger problems than the voice in the clouds. You don't like to say his name, do you? From unknown BCE, Osiris 1.text. Original translation by E.A. Wallace Budge, annotations by blank. The dying man went unto the scribe who resided in Primijet. His likely location was changed according to who the copy of the book was made for. The dying man is an avatar of the owner. And said, Behold, I am weak of body, my days under an old son of Amun-Ra. In the older manuscript, this is rendered as blank, some controversy as to whether it are coming to an end. Though I have spent my years in service of the two lands, I have not studied the blank. Tell me, you who are wise in the writings of the dead, what lies ahead on my journey? What will I face in the land of the Westerners? The dead compare with Kenti and Mentiu, the foremost of the Westerners, a little later given to Osiris. Sometimes mistaken for a mistranslation on Budge's part, this is actually almost certainly a mistranslation by the ancient scribe. The equivalent portion of the older manuscript is sadly not extant. Got it. Lyrics.html. Can't load video file. A new song with lyrics. Gotta laugh about this stuff. Laughter's the best medicine, lol. Lyrics. I've got it, you've got it, he's got it, she's got it, mommy's got it, daddy's got it, baby's got it, granny's got it, lady's got it, Fred, fatty's got it, happy's got it, sappy's got it. Everybody's got it. Come on. Jack's got it, Fred's got it, Bob's got it, dog is fine. Woof, 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 dancing dog. Everybody's got it, except dog. Woof. We've got it, everybody's got it. Immortality.html. Collect all pieces of written information. Oh, wait, what? Why haven't I had that? Wait, what? Apparently I didn't have that achievement. Hold on. Give me a second. Why did it go black as well? That shouldn't have happened. Talos. Apparently I didn't have all pieces of information. Only 4.9% of players have that achievement. Huh. Okay. Alrighty then. Strange, but okay. Disgruntlemeister's blog Stessie, episode 204. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm afraid of dying. I don't see any reason to believe there's an afterlife. I'm an organism like any other. When my brain stops working, my consciousness will cease and I'll be gone. And you know what? I can't just embrace that. I can't say I'm okay with it or I've accepted it or some nonsense like that. I don't want to have an ending. It terrifies me. If I had a genie right now, I'd wish for immortality. Who wouldn't? Oh, but you wouldn't really want to be immortal. The pseudo-philosopher says, pretentious drivel. Everybody wants to live forever. Maybe everybody deserves to live forever too, but we can't. So here we are. Live with it. Or rather, don't. Interesting perspective. Alright, we are now in Egypt. Or a Egypt-esque place. Can head over here and grab this guy as well. Mutation.html. The role of mutation in evolution is particularly fascinating. Mutation is essentially an error in the organism's central database. A variable gets changed, a piece of information is accidentally doubled or combined with another. Most of the time the result is the equivalent of a bug, causing anything from minor problems to complete shutdown, i.e. death. But sometimes the new information is functional, giving the organism an advantage against the challenges it faces, in which case it has a much higher chance of being passed to the next generation. Excuse me. If you consider how unlikely a beneficial mutation is and how long it takes for such a mutation to propagate, this process can give you an amazing insight into just how vast the genetic history of each living organism is. Simultaneously, it is intriguing to consider what a major role random errors have played in the evolution of life itself. The same process that has killed so many of us, often in horrific ways, is also responsible for our very existence. Capacity.html. Trevor Donovan to Alexander Denon. EL capacity. Yeah, no worries. EL is not only ridiculously fast, it also has a bazillion tons of space. Even while hosting a full copy of the archive, it'll totally be able to handle all your project's data needs. Assuming its outpost is as you suggested, I mean, the worst case scenario would be like centuries. That should be enough, right? Right? Trev. Evolution.html. Favorited by George Jamieson. One of the common misunderstandings about evolution, sometimes accidentally promoted by people who should know better, is that it's an active process. Sometimes the term evolve is even applied to individual beings, as if some invisible force had driven them to suddenly change. But the truth is that individuals don't evolve. The term evolution describes a long-term process that can be observed in an entire population across time due to, for example, in response to an external threat or challenge. If an individual coincidentally has a trait that allows it to deal with that challenge more effectively than others, it is more likely to pass on that information to its descendants. That information gives them an advantage, so over time they become the dominant or model of that species. The individuals experience no significant genetic change during their lifetimes, but each of them is part of the evolution of the species. Alright, puzzle time. Puzzle. And there's a star here in the center. We want to get this guy as much space as he can get. But it don't work. Oh wait, I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no I can't. Huh. Hey, it worked. Nice. Oh no. I went out! I went out! I went out! I went out! Thank you. Okay, so then I'm pretty sure we do the same thing we did in 7 to get this star as we make a red over there. We'll get there in a second. So let's just hop on her over there. These sigils come naturally to brass. I didn't put that there. Oh wait, I did! It's version 99.2.0005. This one over here is version 99.3. Oh dang, bro. That's actually really, really cool. I didn't know that happened. That's amazing. Okay, MLA. Hello again. I've been checking your responses against library archives, and in order to assist you further, I need some additional information. Can you tell me what it is to you the important difference between a pebble and a tree? A tree. Pebble is older. Probably true, but hardly related to our inquiry. The answer I was looking for was that the tree is alive. Now, what is the relevant difference between a tree and a frog? A frog is delicious. I suspect you're trying to make this more difficult than it already is. A frog is conscious, but a tree is not. A 5-year-old could handle this. Let's try something harder. What's the difference between a frog and you? What makes you a person? Nothing's important. Nothing important. Frogs are people too. Well, it's not inconsistent with what you said earlier. Frogs may be smart, but I suppose they could solve simple problems. How about we strike a deal? I'll agree that animals are every bit as valuable or pointless as human beings. You get that there are some activities persons are capable of that frogs are not, because if frogs are people, then the certification program is radically unfit for purpose. Agreed. Very sensible. Terminology is so important. What I'd like to put to you is that the important difference between you and a frog is that you're rational, you are self-aware. That is what makes a person. Let us take stock. I think we can tentatively conclude 2 things. A person must be rational or self-aware. A person must be conscious. What I suggest we do to help you resolve your problem is ask whether you are in fact those things. Are you aware of yourself? Can you rationalize your existence? Yes. I tend to agree with you. Though your responses so far have been a little eccentric, I'm resigned to admit that you are right. The matter of whether or not you are conscious seems rather more elusive. What is consciousness in your opinion? It's the feelings and senses. Consciousness, what separates us from animals. Consciousness, what it's like to be me. That hardly answers the question. What is it? What is it in ordinary terms? Can I touch it? What is it made of? And the word complex functional system. Interesting. You know, I really feel like we're making progress. We'll have you through that certification program in no time. In the meantime, I will mull over your proposal and notify you if you have come to conclusions. Now, that isn't how I personally feel. That's just the answers I'm giving to the thing that would most satisfy it. Yeah. Lovely. I made a box float. Seriously, it was awesome. There are hidden dangers in this new world. I have inexplicably escaped death any number of times. I suggest vigilance. Who knows what happens to those who step carelessly too often? I don't think because this says version 2. I don't think I actually got to do version 1 any messages. Window through a door. Hello. I just don't understand this one. I figured I'd try it and make some progress here, but honestly, it's just thankless task compared to what else is out here. Unless this one's slow, which it probably is. Yep. Okay, so then I need to change the way I do this to go to this side. Which then I can make it visible through that door. There we go. So now it's perpetual and won't fluctuate between on and off. Bruh. That takes for frickin' ever. Thank God. Okay. So now I'm going to like this guy and connect him to this beam. And we can get the star now. Yoink. Do that. Grab this guy, and let's see, that's that way? Cool. So we want to get this all the way as far back as we can. Like that. Then we want to put this guy here. Grab it. Then take it over here. Huh. Okay, so then I probably want to do this, which means I need to reconfigure this to be about right there. Oh, I gotta stand. I'm standing. There we go. But I actually need to do some push-ups and some squats, because that's what I do every time when you stand. Or at least should do. Alrighty. There we go. Alrighty. Let's move on. Woo. Nope. Okay, that didn't work as I wanted it to. So I need to grab this guy, put it here. I messed up. Oh, no, I didn't. I think I still messed up. I think what I want to do is just grab this. Fun. Freak you. Now I can get over and do that. Swick. So now we can unlock the fan. Very nice indeed. Oh, I remember this one. This one was a doozy. Okay. So now I can pass over here. Run over here. Grab it. Place it down there. Child program Samsara terminated here. Logic program timed out. Final memory dump. But I was stuck. What was I supposed to? I see clouds. Project program Samsara version 72.2 series. And now I have this, which goes to the next thing. So now we're done with this area. Let's move on. Ooh.
Cease! In the time of your ancestors, there were those who did not choose the path of faith. You do not need to fear their ghosts. Fear only that you may become like them.
Whoa, wait. That always scares me. It just always catches me off guard, and I always like freak out because of it. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Let's get the fan now. Nope. There we go. Now we have a fan, which we do need for the next level.
I see all. I know all. My power knows no bounds. And yet your will is free because you were made to be free. It is the very principle of your existence, without which the trials of this world would hold no meaning. To seek salvation must be your choice.
Okay. ScienceMagic.html. Though the term science is only meant what it does to us for around 600 years, its practice far predates the name. There is evidence pre-Aristotle which indicates soothsayers, mystics, and the like may have employed basic scientific methods to predict the future and confound their benefactors. One anecdote concerns a palm reader who was exposed when two wealthy clients compared their readings and found them to be identical. In 1948, the tendency to discover deep personal meaning in vague descriptions delivered authoritatively was given a name, the Forer effect. Today, it's recognized in all contemporary psychological theory. Weight loss 722.html. Listen, oh man, if there's one thing that's good about Inevitableness, it's food. Yeah, baby, I'm going to have all the horribly unhealthy food in the world. I'm going to feast on jelly bananas like a crazy monkey on Monkey Christmas. And you know those muffins that have so much chocolate they're basically melting? That's gonna be my breakfast. Burgers for lunch. I'm gonna have burgers so greasy you could use them to lubricate a whole factory. Triple bacon burgers with double cheese and extra onions and mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard and big fat juicy patties. And then oily, thick pizza with spicy salami and barbecue sauce and olives and jalapenos and sour cream. Food coma, here I come! Fascinated by Jordan's project, Lovely Conversation re Talos Principle, Greek philosophy relevance to current situations. Suggested naming Project Talos. Jordan refused, but name seems to have caught on with the team. Tens of thousands of files coming in every hour. Our whole history.
I keep having these dreams. Great empty cities. Silent roads stretching for miles. The earth from space, all dark. Not a single light to guide me home. But if someone really came from another world, what would the earth look like to them? A wilderness? A wasteland?
Oh, dang. Okay.
I keep having these dreams. Great empty cities. Silent roads stretching for miles. The earth from space, all dark. Not a single light to guide me home. But if someone really came from another world, what would the earth look like to them? A wilderness? A wasteland? I don't think so. Even after thousands of years, they'd see a world shaped by our hand in every aspect of its being. They'd see the cities and the roads, the bridges, the harbors, and they would say, here lived a race of giants. These dreams, they scare me, but they also remind me that we built all of this.
I have come to see that these mysteries are not all for his children to solve. Only the designer himself could ever truly understand the infinite complexity of his creation. I will gaze at his work and worship. I took time to prepare myself for the obstacles in this world. It was time well spent. That was mine. Okay, so this one, if I recall, is complex. Very, very complex. It's got a lot of moving parts. Keys. You want to make this an inter little loop. Probably about good there. Nice, they're moving in opposite directions as well, which gives us more room to work with. So if we head over here again, we don't need that, but we do want that door over there. So let's head over here, make that door, and then grab this jammer, because we'll want it. And then we have the keys, so we can head in here. Deaf child program. One with faith, terminated here. Logic, worship the designer for blank days, then allow the serpent into its heart. Final memory dump. I asked the designer for forgiveness that I may join him in the eternal memory. Progeny programs at Samsara and Sheep. I guess someone met their end here. Seems we're all connected somehow, like distant family relations. Different versions, different series. What are we? Who cares? Just be grateful we don't have to read anything more about our great designer. So I may have run into an issue. These guys aren't staggered. How do I stagger them? Do I use these guys up here? Maybe. I do. Stagger them this way. There we go. Now, I just realized something else that I need to do. Before we head forward, I need to grab this guy, put it there, grab that guy and put it on that one, so that I can actually get to the end. There we go. Cool. Look at all the space I have! Nice. There you go. Then else over here. Man on the moon. So that's actually really, really funny, and you'll see why in a bit. Okay, so the idea is actually that we have to do something else. We need to take this guy and shoot him over there. Then we take this guy, place it there, and get ourselves over there. Now we can do this. There we go. So the reason why I said that's funny is because, well, we'll get to it here in a second in the next puzzle, but there's a reason why this one's called Man on the Moon. It's meant to be a subtle clue to a little secret that you can do. I'm gonna go and do it. If we take this, and that moonshot is the other part of it. Yup. 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 Let that do its thing for a second. Yup. Hello. Boom. Now we have an issue. I just realized that's because this thing is I have to turn that down real quickly because it could get copyright claimed on that theme. I don't think I will, but I might. So we gotta be careful. Another thing that I saw, hold on. No, I can't connect to that little dot up there. That might be like a copyright thing. I don't know. It might be like a little R or something. Little C. So, if we go in here, this is the next stage. But if we go back here, there's a little barrier there. We'll get to that here in a second. Okay, so I get that I'm supposed to retrieve these sigils. I just don't get why. Sure, the loud voice is telling me to, but this world has no context, no purpose, and no foundations from which to construct them. Got that there, and now we can turn it back up. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to infringe on copyright policies or anything like that. Sorry. Okay, so before we move on, let's head back this way, because now we have a free jammer. And we can take it over here and do that. But we actually need another one to do this one. Or a set of things. Yeah, here we go. This is what I wanted. Pretty neat. It's a bed. And that's just a funny reference to do robots dream of electric sheep? Apparently they do. MLA. Here's what I've been wondering while you were off carrying out commandments. You say that consciousness is some kind of functional system. Arrange bits of matter in the right order and out springs sentience. That's all very well on paper, but what counts as what something does, not what it's made of? Then couldn't you and I design a series of tin cans and strings that qualify it as being conscious? Wait. Yes, naturally. What a bizarre idea. I'll send you a notification when the signposts start complaining. Seriously though, are the tides in the ecosystem sentient as well? Any organized system qualifies. Sure, I can go with that. You're quite mad, I'm sure of it. Of course, the alternative accounts...
Do not think I know not the deceiver slithering through the hidden words. His wisdom is hollow and born of despair. Do not let him tangle you in his webs of delusion. Have faith in me, and his petty illusions will fall away like nightmares in the morning's light.
Don't mind him. He's just worried that if you ask him any questions, you'll start to see through his shtick. Stick with me, and the sky will quite literally be the limit. At any rate, I'd like you to think a bit harder about all this and get back to me. I'm sure there's still progress to be made. So what he was saying earlier was how consciousness can be so intimately familiar to you and yet so obscure, I just don't understand. Anyway, let's get back to that puzzle. Did I keep my stuff in the right place? I did. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to grab a second, maybe 3 crystal reflectors. Or connectors, however you want to call them. Which there should be another one in here. Yup. And now we have this guy. So now we want to head over here. And we want to do this. And then, I'm pretty sure... So then I might be running into an issue here. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Because I cannot clearly see that. Ah! I know what to do. I remember now. The way to do it is I grab this guy. I place him at the top over here. Just right here. And then I take the other one. Oops. I gotta get back out. Most of the time, these puzzles can feel very, very convoluted. Yeah, I know, it's a thing. But they eventually do start to make more sense as you keep playing. Grab that one, and then connect here. Now, we go and do something. We head back over here. Over to Moonshot. We grab this guy, pair it with him, connect it there. Then we put it on the cube. Now we have a connection. And we can go over here and grab the star. So the Man on the Moon title of that one was a reference to Portal. That thing in the sky. Yep. Pretty neat. Alrighty, moving on to the next one. After this one, we'll be able to make the next thing, which appears to be some kind of person holding something. Progress report 9. From Bob Bukowski. Ian Nomadics to Ian mailing list. Progress report 9. The basic skeleton of the simulation is now running on EL. It's not plugged into the AI system yet, but in theory everything is ready. I guess the next step is to test whether the generated scenarios make sense, or do we wait for the iteration module? Osiris. The first wisdom, the scribe said to the dying man, is that as the world is made of 5 elements, here the translator is clearly inserting his own beliefs onto the text, so is the soul of man. Know therefore that in this life you are heart and shadow and name, and also Ka and Ba. Without all these you would not be a living being, but a thing. What is a man without a name, who cannot speak of himself? What is a man without a shadow, who is not anchored in the world? What is a man without a heart, who can neither feel nor think? What is a man without a Ka, who has no essence? What is a man without a Ba, who is not himself, but like unformed clay? Therefore, praise Osiris, the king of eternity, the lord of everlastingness, the eldest son of the womb of Nut, he who traverses millions of years in his existence. Here the translator... Oh, I read that. Just war excerpt. Democrates alter or on the just causes for war against the Indians by Juan Sepulveda. Written in 1547 to justify the Spanish conquest of the Americas. The Spanish have a perfect right to rule these barbarians of the New World, who in humanity are as inferior to the Spanish as children are to adults, or women are to men. For there exists between the two as great a difference as, I might even say, between apes and men. Compare then these gifts to those possessed by these half-men, in whom you will barely find the vestiges of humanity, who not only do not possess any learning at all, but are not even literate in even human flesh. Therefore, if you wish to reduce them, I do not say to our domination, but to a servitude a little less harsh, it will not be difficult for them to change their masters. Yup. Yup. Bit of racism, but yup. And all the other isms as well. Alright, so now we launch both of these over. Then launch one of these over. And launch ourselves over. There we go. Easy as pie. Not that bad. Theory. This place is some kind of preserve for human history, and we're the endangered species. Theory. Trying to find answers will only bring pain. Ceasing to care is the only escape. Theory. This guy's 10 times more helpful than you, Samsara, so shut your face. Theory. We're in some kind of incubator waiting to be hatched. Theory. If you knew how little you know, you wouldn't be so exposing it here. Figured out. Now what? The only meaningful purpose is to bring about an end of the purpose. Whoosh! This one is another one that took me a while to figure out. So this one's important. Now the next thing we need to do is put this guy there, which will then turn off this fan, which then we can grab it, and then we can then take this fan, and then we can holy cow, there's a lot of stuff being delivered. Well, okay then. How do I turn you off? Oh, I see. I see what I was supposed to do. Okay. So I think the idea is that I need to put this here. And then put this here. And now I'm past, and I can grab that. Now, next thing is, how do I get in there? Oh. I don't need to get in there. I push it out. Brillante. So now, I want to place this... right? I think I know what I'm supposed to do. Yep. Okay. So let's throw you in. It's so fast. Okay. There we go. Cool. I don't remember if there's something I was able to do with the boxes. I don't think it's here. There's a place where if I use the boxes, I can escape the walls. I can escape the walls. But I don't think that's here. Blown away. So can't do that. Oh hey, there's a star. Right. And then I do this. Yoink. And then I believe I meant to have like a similar thing as to what I did earlier. Is have a red beam. Ah. That's a red beam right there. Well, let's keep that in mind. It's a blue beam here. Fan. Nothing else over here. Okay. So I need to get both these cubes inside. Drop. And drop. Then I place a cube here. And I place a cube on top of it. And I get up on top. Now it's disabled, and I can go across. And grab this. Nice. Okay, so I'm fairly certain. What I was thinking was the way to get the star. There's also a terminal over here that we can use. Body and soul.txt. But it is commonly supposed that the Egyptians believed the soul to live as long as the body continued undissolved, and therefore tried this method of eluding death. Could the wise Egyptians, said Nicaea, think so grossly of the soul? If the soul could once survive its separation, what could it afterwards receive or suffer from the body? The Egyptians would doubtless think erroneously, said the astronomer, in the darkness of heathenism and the first dawn of philosophy. The nature of the soul is still disputed amidst all our opportunities of clear knowledge. Some yet say that it may be material, who nevertheless believe it to be immortal. Soma.email. From Sun Wei Yang to Arkady Chernysevsky. Names. Names are a funny thing. I remember how much we struggled to come up with a name for our project. All serious scientists name their projects by just translating to Greek or Latin, right? Corpus made me think of some horrible disease, so we used the Greek word instead. Soma. Quite appropriate. But then, since we needed corporate funding, we had to come up with a backronym. Corporations love backronyms, you know. They even sent us a list of buzzword-heavy suggestions to help us get started. Stuff like self-sufficient, orthostatic, modular, android, sustainable, observant, mechanized, anthropod, scoiomorphic, omni-adaptable, mobile anthropomorphic. After a while, we got so frustrated that we started getting silly. Saber-toothed, overexcited murder android. Sentient orthopedic monkey automaton. Strange Olga's menacing assassobot. Oh gosh. Superb octopod. Marinades. Appellings. Satisfying overcooked mint alligator. Stinky ornithological mule alligator. Skroink oof minky ack. Stupid, obscure, meaningless acronym. In the end, we all ended up hating the name Soma, just because we had so many fights about it with the sponsors. So when Alexander told that story about the Talos principle, blank caught on. I don't know whether it really fits, but I kind of like it. Okay, so I just remembered how to do it. Let's head back over here. We yoink this guy. Put it here. Oh, shoot. No, it's being blocked there. So it needs to be over a bit more. There we go. Beautiful. Yoink. Now we can leave. And we can also make the next device. Here we go. And I think that's gonna be it for today. And it looks to be some kind of box with a stop, power, and a play button. Alright. Thank you guys on YouTube for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Head over to Twitch and follow us here. Also check out the Discord link on the banner. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye!